Siti Rudai Mirianti, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Dato' Haji Abdul Rahman, Secretary General of AIPA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome all the distinguished delegates from ASEAN to that of Hornbill, Sarawak, particularly in Sentul. The Sarawak government is honored to host the representatives of the women parliamentarians of the ASEAN Inter-Parliamentary Assembly, WIPA, organized by the Parliament of Malaysia in collaboration with the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly. This initiative aligns perfectly with the theme of Malaysia's ASEAN Chairmanship 2025, which highlights inclusivity and sustainability. I understand the theme of this meeting is steering innovation, inclusivity and diversity through gender balanced parliaments for the future-ready ASEAN. And this underscores the essential role of women in shaping resilient, innovative, and inclusive societies. In recent years, there has been growing recognition of the vital importance of gender equality and women's empowerment to sustainable development. Governments, along with international and regional organizations, have shown increased commitment to institutionalizing gender mainstream approaches. Michelle Obama used to say, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. You can go right to the sky. Women empowerment continues to be a global issue, including here in Malaysia. The governments of Malaysia and Sarawak both acknowledge that women must be granted equal opportunities in education, social spheres, and economic activities. With strong support from the governments, women's empowerment has been embedded into our state's agenda within the policies of post-COVID-19 strategy of Sarawak. That's why we have the 3 pillars, one of which is inclusivity. We have witnessed encouraging progress in women's participation in politics, particularly in parliament. Although I was told that women currently make up only 13.5% of MPs and 16.1% of the Madani government's cabinet, including one from Sarawak. And even fewer at the state level. And these dynamic and dedicated women are playing key roles in advancing our state's initiative. These figures highlight the need to further encourage and support women's participation in policy making and public administration across various sectors, from leadership, education, and economics to human rights and frontline services. Women have consistently demonstrated resilience, courage, and wisdom in overcoming whatever challenges they face. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarawak is the largest state in Malaysia, known for its dense forests, rainforests, rugged terrain, and extensive coastline. While Kuching thrives as a modern city, we must always remember and support the communities in our rural and remote areas. In Sarawak, women possess the quality, capability, and numbers to shape the socio-economic transformation of our state. Women's empowerment is no longer just a matter of equality and fairness. It is now a fundamental pillar of social and economic progress. Empowerment means enabling women to recognize their self-worth, make their own choices, and influence social change for themselves and for others. With women comprising nearly 50% of Sarawak's almost 3 million population, their empowerment is crucial in addressing emerging socio-economic challenges. Women from our diverse ethnic groups, Dayak, Malays, Chinese, Indian, Melanau, Bidayuh, Orang Ulu, and other indigenous communities play vital roles in shaping the state's political, economic, and social landscape. Sarawak has made significant progress in promoting women's rights, with increasing female participation in education, the workforce, and leadership roles. More women now hold prominent positions in government, especially the senior position in the state government, business, and civil society. Gender-responsive policies and women-focused programs have helped narrow the gender gap and allowed women to pursue education and careers that were once male-dominated. Furthermore, the Sarawak government has taken progressive steps by establishing women's councils and committees that champion gender-sensitive policies. These efforts complement Malaysia's broader commitment to gender equality as outlined in the national development strategies and international frameworks. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to highlight that recently the Women and Family Department under the Ministry of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Sarawak had published a book entitled Sarawak Women in Innovation and Technology. This publication celebrates the achievements of 26 remarkable Sarawakian women in the fields of innovation and technology. Their accomplishments serve as an inspiration to future generations. Since 2010, the department has published a series of books documenting the diverse professions and achievements of Sarawakian women. These stories are a testament to the impact of the post-COVID-19 development strategy, PCDS 2030, which drives Sarawak's sustainable growth and position us for a more inclusive and successful future. This perfectly reflects the spirit of our gathering, because when strong women come together, ideas ignite, leaders unite, and transformative change takes flight. Ladies and gentlemen, in my view, the issue of equality, we are in the period of transition. There are three prerequisites that must be embedded in this transitional period. Number one, in my view, is merit. You are there because you have the merit. And this merit, therefore, becomes the key for leadership role. The gentleman will say, okay, you have the right there to be there. We have to support you because of your merit. Number two, the issue of acceptance. The society must be able to accept the role, irrespective of whether you're a man or woman, based on the issue of merit. You are there because you are qualified to be there. Then the third prerequisite, to my view, is the level of society intellect. When the society has that level of intellect, then the issue of merit comes in place. And once the women have that three characteristics or pillars, society can accept you as a leader. The last 10 years, we have seen how women play leadership role in Europe. Politically, they are there. And also in economics, as you know, the chief of IMF is also a woman in Europe, the National Monetary Fund. In other words, the trend is towards empowerment. The trend is toward the role of women based on their merit. And you never know one day, the world depends on women intellect. We have men in good leadership role, but the world now is Klankabut because of their economic policies that are not in tune with the global needs of a fair world trade. And this is one of the challenges that we are facing. And again, this background, women's role will definitely be a forward-looking trend. With that, I have the opportunity to work with women, Sarawak women. They are very cooperative with us, and I can assure you that they will play a very significant and strategic role in our economic policies to be a developed state by the year 2030. With that, I wish you all the best in this deliberation. Thank you very much.